Welcome back. This is our chance to learn about the var keyword here. The var is something that was introduced, I don't know, a while ago, but one of the great things about var is that it kind of reduces the amount of boilerplate or the amount of typing that you have to do. So, for example, let me just kind of explain that. This second greeting that I've defined here is ultimately the same thing as string. Second greeting equals you are awesome, right? But the one thing is that it keeps me from having to type string, right? Furthermore, the greeting method here returns a string. So this var greeting, you can see it's defined as a string. The reason it's defined as a string is because it's inferring the type from the method return value, right? So these two are both string values, and we're going to write them out to the console, right? Well, beginning with C#9, you can actually use a new interesting syntax. It's called target type, new expression. And effectively what it means is I could have written this line a little differently. I could have written it like this: var some more greetings equal new list, okay, of string, and then put in the initializers, right? A couple strings here, okay? But another way to write it is this new target type, new expression syntax. So that's another option for you. Both will ultimately result in a list of string. You can see here this is typed as a list of string. Now the one gotcha with var is that you can't do something like this. I can't say var val equal null, mostly because it doesn't know what type to infer. Null doesn't have a type. So if you're going to initialize something to null and you're not ready to assign it, you're going to have to say something like string val equal null, because null is the default value for string. You wouldn't even really have to say null here. You could just string val, right? Okay, so that's the only limitation really to var, but I would say that in most cases you should be using var. In some cases this may make a lot of sense to you. In all of these cases we've produced strings to string out to the console. So if we run this here, we get hello C#, you're awesome. This is awesome, I love C#. That's exactly what we would have expected based on what we coded here. But these are just different examples of how var can really benefit you and kind of create more brevity in your code. And so I would encourage you to use it. Encourage you to use this target type new expression syntax if it makes sense for you. But encourage you to also remember that one gotcha, that if you do need to set something to null or initialize it to null, that you will have to type it if you're trying to set it like that, because null doesn't have an actual type.